Hi there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Push Push Penguin by Wacky Wizard Games.
Push Push Penguin is a game that involves somewhat kind of pushing your luck, dice rolling, and definitely pushing penguins. In this particular game, what you're going to be doing is rolling 2 dice and choosing one of those 2 dice to determine how far you're going to push your penguin into the icy cold water. And essentially what you want to do in this game is be the person who finishes second. You don't want to be first in this one, because if you're first loser, essentially. And if you're second, then you're the winner. If you're anything else, you're a loser. And so in this one, it's all about being second, and as you're playing, you're going to be pushing other penguins further and further down the slope. Let's go down to the table. I'll show you how this one works, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer. All right, I have Push Push Penguin on the table. Let's go over the components. You've got this main board that is going to have a track that the penguins are going to be following. You have your colored penguins here that are cardboard standees, and they're all going to start on this top space at the top of the board. You do have an orca tail standee as well that is going to start on the opposite end of the track on the orca start space. You have cups. All the players are going to have their own color of cup with their penguin face on it. We will focus on the blue penguin. And with that, you will also have these tiles that are going to have a space for no and a space for go. Each player will have their own matching tile. Players will also have their own set of D6 dice. You'll have 2 of them. And these are standard dice. You're going to put your dice inside of your cup, and you're going to use your cup to kind of roll your dice. I'll show you that here in a second. You do have 2 extra dice that are going to be special, and you have your fish tokens that are going to be used to help you re-roll your dice or combine your dice to move extra spaces down the track. This is a roll and move game, but it is so much more than your typical roll and move game. Now, how this game is going to work, as I mentioned, all penguins are going to start here at the top, and you're going to put the orca at the end of this track. And one player is going to be the start player, and they will have the orca tail die, and they are going to roll all of their dice. They're going to roll their 2 dice that are in their cup and the orca tail. And while they're rolling these dice, all players are going to be rolling their 2 dice in their cup as well, shaking that up like so, and then slamming their cup on top of their tile, and then secretly keeping it hidden from the other players. They're going to decide which of their 2 dice they are going to put on the no and which of their 2 dice they're going to put on the go. And it's as simple as that. Whichever one you're putting on the no, you're saying, I'm not using that this turn. And whichever one you're putting on the go, well, that's how many spaces you are going to be moving. So in this case, I'm moving 6. We do nothing with the 2. And then when all players have locked in their selections, you will reveal your dice. And starting with the first player, you will move the number of spaces that you have put on your go die. Now, all the spaces are mostly blank, but there are some spaces that do have special things. So let's cover what those special spaces are. Let's say that I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and landed on this seal space right here. And as you can see, there are other seal spaces scattered throughout the board, but they all work the same. And whenever you land on a seal space, you are going to roll the special seal die, which will either move you an extra number of spaces. In this case, either 2 or 7. I get to choose 3 or 5, 4 or 6, or this special one right here will move you 1 space in front of the lead penguin. Now, if you happen to be the lead penguin, you would just not do anything. And then this one will move the orca tail 1 more space. We'll cover what that means to move the orca tail here in just 1 second. But let's just say that I did that and took my turn, and then the next penguin in clockwise order would take their turn. And let's say that they also picked 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this game is called Push Push Penguin because anytime you land on top of a penguin at the end of your movement, you're actually going to push them forward. And that's important because let's say that this happens again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, now we're not only just pushing the pink penguin, we're pushing the blue penguin as well. And now that the blue penguin is on this space right here with this arrow, well, the blue penguin is going to slide down the track, just like Chutes and Ladders, if you will. And so that's how things can get really chaotic really quickly. Now, if you land on one of the fish spaces, you're simply going to draw one of the fish tokens, which, as I've already mentioned, is going to either allow you to re-roll your dice, or you can combine your 2 dice to move whatever that value would be. There is a third benefit to having a fish tile, and that is at the end of the game, which we'll talk about that here in just a second. I do want to point out, if you roll your dice and you end up getting the same exact number, so let's say 2 2s, for instance, you could show that to everybody, and that would allow you to re-roll your 2 dice again, hopefully getting a different combination on that turn. But that's the gist of what you're doing out here. All penguins are going to move, and then once all the penguins have moved, the player who has the Orca-tail die, the first player, they would roll it, and you would move the Orca-tail that number of spaces in reverse maneuvering down the track. So the Orca-tail is going to be moving this way while the penguins are going to be moving this way. Because the objective of the game is to be the person who finishes in second place. Ultimately, what's going to be happening are these penguins moving closer and closer towards the water. I'll show you this bottom half of the track. You come out of the water and you get into the ocean, and this Orca-tail will eventually come closer and closer, and then you will have your penguins lined up here really close to the Orca-tail. And eventually, they're going to meet. And when they meet, something special is going to happen. It's going to trigger the end of the game. But what's going to happen is whenever the penguin, the first penguin meets up with the Orca-tail, they will have 1 chance to roll the seal die. And if they can get this Orca-tail, then what's going to happen is that penguin is going to move to the end of the line. They'll move behind wherever the last place penguin is, and they have successfully hidden themselves from the orca, and the game will continue until another penguin runs into the orca, and then they will have 1 chance to roll the Orca-tail. If they don't get it, then the game is over unless they have a fish token, because if they have a fish token, they can spend that to roll the die again. If they get the Orca-tail, the game continues. If they don't, they better have another fish token, otherwise the game is going to be over, at which point whichever penguin was in second place is going to be the winner. And that's really all there is to Push Push Penguin. It is a game where you're rolling dice and you're kind of judging whether you should go or whether you should slow down, because you ultimately want to be in second place in this game. But as you can see, there's chaos and you're not quite sure what's going to happen on the turns. But that's how you play Push Push Penguin. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one. And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Push Push Penguin from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. So Sam, the first thing I want to ask you about this particular game is that, this is a fairly straightforward game, right?
Yes.
And the turns are very simple.
Yeah.
Roll 2 dice, choose one to pick that you're going to move yourself forward with.
Yeah.
The other means nothing. That's it. What did you think about as far as that's all you're doing on a turn and the idea of wanting to finish second? I feel like this has got to be one of the most simple-minded games. Yeah. Not that it's a so simple it's boring kind of game, but just simple to follow. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to understand. We were able to play with all of our kids.
All of our kids, including the 5-year-old.
Yeah, and so that's always, we can't always find a game that everybody's interested in, but everyone had a really good time playing with this. And it was totally easy to understand. And everyone understood what their goal was, too. I think the 5-year-old won.
The 5-year-old won. Yeah. He beat everybody.
Yeah.
So,
because he gets really mad when he doesn't win.
He does. And there were parts in the game where he was convinced that he was going to be the one that gets eaten by the whale.
Yeah, that happened a lot where you're like, there's just no way. And then it just
craziness happens in this game. Which some people are going to be like, okay, I don't like swingy games. Well, this is going to be a swingy game, right? Like, there are going to be definite moments where you feel like, okay, that person's toast, they're a goner, and then something crazy happens. And so you just got to know that about that with this game. It is definitely a family weight game, right? Like, this is not going to be the game that you're going to be playing with your hardcore heavy gamers, obviously. But if you are looking for a family game that your entire family can play, including grandma, This is going to be that, I feel like, right? And it's a 15-minute game.
Yeah.
So it's not, you could play this multiple times.
We played it multiple times.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about, because anytime you've got dice, there is going to be kind of a luck factor with that. Now, I don't think it's too heavy with this, because if you roll doubles, I mean, that's, if there wasn't this rolling doubles would be awful, and then this would not be a great game, I feel like. But when you roll doubles, you get to roll again, so that you can hopefully have some disparity between your two dice.
I think it gives you a lot of options, so you're not just, you are stuck with what you roll, but you're essentially choosing the best of two.
Yeah.
So I think that helps.
And here's my thing on this too. If you get yourself into a bad spot, it's usually because you made multiple bad choices that pushed yourself too far down the... Yeah, it's not going to be one bad choice that ruins the game for you. It's going to be multiple ones.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're also pushing the other players helps, because that definitely can put them in bad spots, which helps you, obviously.
Yeah.
And everybody's doing that to everybody else. So I don't feel like that's, too much take that. Let's talk about fun factor wise. How fun was this game for you?
I'm going to enjoy any game that I can play with my kids. I don't think this is one that me and Lance are just going to sit down and play together. Not that it's bad at all, but it seems more geared towards the younger crowd.
Sure.
But if my kids wanted to play this, I would have no issue. It's not like them coming to me and saying, "Let's play Candyland." And
no,
I'd say, no.
Yeah. This is worlds beyond Candyland type of children's games.
Yeah.
I would play this 100 times before I would break out a game like Candyland to play with my kids.
We're never getting sponsored by...
We're not. And I'm okay with that, because I get to play Push Push Penguin with my kids instead. Okay, let's get to pros and cons with this particular game. The bullet point highlights that stand out for you with this one that work well, what would that be?
It's easy to understand. It's very easy to explain to children. They understand, what the dice do and things like that. So, it's very quick, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Looks cute, right? And not only is it bright, colorful artwork with the different colored penguins, but it's got unusual components with the cups, right? Tell me another board game that has cups in it. I'm sure you could think of one after a long time, but this one is right here, right? That's a cool thing. The cups, you're going to shake and rattle. The kids are going to love it. It makes noise. It's not too much noise.
Yeah.
But it works. I like the cups with the game. And it's exciting, right? There are exciting moments, especially towards the end of the game, when somebody's going to hit the well on this turn. And you're not sure if it's going to be you or if it's going to be her. It's whoever it's going to be. Lots of excitement with that. Plus, there is the chance that the person who hits the well escapes and gets away from the whale. And then the game kind of sort of continues. Yeah. That's an interesting aspect with it as well. Anything that maybe doesn't work so great for you on this?
I wouldn't say doesn't work, but we make sure you're at a table, because we were in a hotel room. True. And we were all holding our little disc with our cups, and our children could not keep their dice. Right. Their dice were flying everywhere. So do it on the table.
I do think that's a good point to make, because if you are playing this with kids, which you probably will be, anytime you're playing a game of dice with kids, there's always the possibility that the dice go flying off the table and you lose them. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. I would agree with Sam. Play on the table. The other thing I would say maybe as a con is just that it does say that it is for 2 to 6 players. I don't know that I would play this with 2 players. I think I would want at least 3, maybe 4. Higher player count, the better, because that is going to create more of that bustling and jostling.
2 people, you're just going to be fighting each other.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to our scores here with this particular one. I'll go first. Scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. What do I think about Push Push Penguin? Well, as you all know here on Love to Hate, we're always trying to find the games that work great for gamers and non-gamers alike. Family weight games tend to be the largest majority of that pool of games that we play. I think this game is perfect in terms of family weight games. This one's probably going to be on my top 10 of the year list for me at the end of the year. I really enjoy this one. I got to play it for the first time with Grant Lyon, the board game comedian, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with him. I was at a con with him here in Oklahoma City where we live. Got to play this with him. He had an advanced copy. Loved it. It was such an enjoyable experience at 6-player count. Then finally got a copy of it, got to play it with Sam, as you know, watching this video. Loved it again. Every experience I've had with this game has been great. So I'm going to give this one, I'm going to give it an 8. I think that highly of it. Now, that being said, it's a 15-minute family kids kind of game. So obviously keep it in that ballpark, right? But in that ballpark, it's an 8 for me.
Yeah, I definitely, like, you have to, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to end up in my top 10 because those are typically just games that me and Lance would play together.
Okay.
But I can definitely see it on another list of games that, you know, now that our kids are getting older, because we've been doing this channel since our youngest was born.
True.
So now that they all play games, maybe we need to have 2 lists of really family games. And as far as family games go, I would probably give it a 7.6.
Okay. All right. So we're kind of in the same area then. Absolutely. Really enjoy this one. I'm not going to let it leave my collection. I'm going to hold on to this one. As long as I've got young kids, this is going to be one that I keep. So the game is Push Push Penguin. It is from Wacky Wizard Games. We've got high reviews on it, so definitely check it out. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think about this one.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.